right, barbell bench press. Everybody wants a big bench, right? This is how you do it. So, Adam's gonna, before Adam lays down on the bench, he's gonna sit back up. First thing he wants to make sure happens is that his feet are flat on the ground. And once his feet are planted on the ground, they're not gonna move for the entire set. Next thing is he wants to make sure that his shoulder blades are pulled together. Yeah. And then he's gonna lay down on the bench. Oh, his feet move, so we gotta send him back up. So feet are flat on the ground, they don't move. Just like in the bottom of the deadlift or the squat, when you're laying on the bench, it should not be comfortable at all if you're creating all that tension. Okay, go ahead, lay down. Good. Shoulder blades are pulled together, and he's going to have a little bit of space between his lower back and the bench, and that space is created from him pulling his shoulder blades together, not overarching or overextending his low back. So that's a big thing that people miss. So the space is pulling your shoulder blades back together. Then he's going to grab the bar. Go ahead, grab it. And I always get questions about how wide your grip needs to be. You want to work towards, when you're at the bottom of the bench, your elbows should be in line with the bench or slightly above the bench. A lot of people don't have very good shoulder flexibility, so you kind of have to take it in little stages. And you can shorten the range of motion with board pressing or board pressing with a foam roller. So let's just see where Adam's grip is. 2 reps. So his elbows are below the bench, so I'm going to say, Adam, you need a wider grip. So let's go ahead, sit back up. Plants his feet on the ground. Shoulder blades pulled together. Lays down. Eyes are in line with the bar. He's going to go a little bit wider. And just like every other movement, he's going to brace with the core, or brace with a big, deep belly breath. Lift the bar up. He's going to do 2 reps. Now I'm going to say he needs to go even wider. So I'll say, Adam, you need your pinky, in the outer ring. Let's try again. Shoulder blades together. Yep. That's better. We're getting there. Okay. Go ahead, sit up. And a couple of things to think about when you're benching. Always want to create as much tension as possible. So when you're lowering the bar, you want to think about pulling the bar to you. So you're activating your upper back more instead of just lowering the weight or bouncing the weight off of your chest. And then a good cue for your athletes when they're pressing the bar is you want to think about pushing yourself away from the bar, not just lifting the weight. Go ahead, we'll do one more set with Adam. So feet are flat on the ground, shoulder blades together. Wider grip than he's used to. Big deep belly breath. 2 reps. And boom. Good. Got it. One more common flaw I see all the time is, well, especially with young athletes, is when they're benching, they push their shoulder blades apart to kind of get that extra range of motion. You really want to keep your shoulder blades together through the whole entire set. You don't ever want to overextend your shoulders. There's a lot less stability out there. Barbell bench press. So, barbell squat. First thing you want to think about when you are lifting anything heavy is creating as much tension as you possibly can in your entire body. And the first step when you're doing the squat is pulling yourself underneath the bar when you're unracking the bar. A lot of people have a tendency to sort of address the bar in sort of a haphazard manner without even really thinking about it. But you want to make sure you get your mind right and you're creating tension in every place that you can. So, pulling yourself underneath the bar, kind of like a lat pull down. Yeah, and then you're going to take one step back from the rack. And then all you got to do is hip hinge and push your knees out. Stop right there. So in the bottom position, you want to make sure that your weight is back on your heels. You have a good neutral posture. And when you come up out of the bottom, you want to make sure that your back angle stays the same and that your hips don't come up first. Go ahead, stand up. And then Adam's going to do one more. I forgot to mention, he's going to brace with his big deep belly breath. Hip hinge, push his knees out. Notice his knees are tracking over his toes. And then stand back up. One more time. Big breath. Drop back. And stand up. Boom. And then step into the rack. Barbell squat. Barbell deadlift, a personal favorite of mine. And all a deadlift is basically is a hip hinge with the barbell in your hand. So, the setup for a deadlift, you are going to address the bar with the bar right next to your shins. Your feet are going to be about shoulder width apart. Go ahead, stand up. And then you're going to hip hinge. And when you address the bar in a deadlift, again, you want to create as much tension as possible. So you want to think about pulling yourself to the bar, not just bending over and grabbing the bar. Pull yourself to the bar. Double overhand grip. And then if I'm looking at Adam from the side, he should drop his hips till his shoulders are in line with the bar to make sure his back angle is right. Then he needs to drop his head to neutral. And there is a whopping 95 pounds on this bar. So when you grab the bar, you want to think about pulling all the slack out of the bar before you lift it. So you should be pulling on the bar, or Adam should be pulling on the bar with 94 pounds of tension. And then when he's ready to lift the weight, all he's going to do is think about pushing the bar or pushing the ground away from the bar. Go for it. Boom. And back down. We'll have Adam do two more. Faster next time. Good. And then notice Adam's shoulders are drifting in front of the bar, so I'm going to cue him back, or to drop his hips back a little bit more. And then go ahead, stand up. Out. It should be super uncomfortable in the bottom position of the deadlift if you're creating as much tension as you can. It should not be a fun place to be. So, stand back up, guys. So, from here, brace the core, big deep belly breath, pulls himself back down to the bar, drops his hips, stands up. Good. And then let's do one more, we'll give him a break. Nice. Go ahead, stand up. So, we kind of addressed how to lift the bar off the ground and going up. So on the way down, when you're lowering the bar, you want to make sure that you keep the bar right next to your thighs, and it basically drags against your thighs the whole time. You don't ever want the bar to drift out in front of you. So we're going to have Adam do two more perfect deadlifts. And again, you want to think about pushing your knees out. You don't want to miss that torque when you're lifting. Good. One more. Barbell deadlift.